concrete walls, these city lights. What I'm about to say, it won't make no sense, but I gotta get it off my chest. There's so much more than where you're from. It's in the fabric of your soul. I just wanna go home, where everybody knows me home, and I make all my memories home. I just wanna go
Hey everybody, come on into the Cajun Cooking Experience. This is Buddy. How y'all doing tonight? Man, we got one of my favorite dishes cooking tonight. Of course, they're all my favorite. We got a little deer neck and turnip stew. You see the big writing on the screen. And that deer neck and turnip stew, that's something that would have been at the camps. Or like my mother-in-law told me today, her mama used to cook that for her dad. So this goes way back. This goes way, way back into the early 1900s, 1800s. You needed something to do with that deer neck. Deer neck is a really, really tough piece of meat. What's up, Buck? And that tough piece of meat, a lot of people don't like the food with it. I've seen people take the deer neck and say, here, take it. I don't want it. Or just throw it away. Man, make a soup to make this stew right here, make a stew that is just awesome. What you say, Lucy? So tonight, we're going to make that deer neck and turnip stew. Something my father-in-law taught me. He used to come here with his deer necks all the time. Can I cut them in steaks this big? And he'd have them frozen. And it was dangerous to cut them frozen. You actually had to cut them a little flat. You had to cut them first along the guide so you could flatten them out and then cut them in steaks. And it was easier to handle. What I did today, I just took the whole deer neck, put it in a pot, and just let it boil till it debone. So it's just easier for me to do because I wanted to use the whole neck. The reason for cutting it in steaks is that if you didn't want to use all of it, you just wanted to make a little small stew maybe. But we're making a pretty big stew tonight, so we'll go with that. So we're gonna make a roux over here. This pot over here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start cooking down my seasoning. I want to cook it. Yeah, Lucy, I got my Mardi Gras on, baby. I can throw you something, baby. So I'm not wanting to go to Mardi Gras, but I like the shirts. I love the colors. What's up, Dr. Baptiste? So over here, I'm going to go ahead and cook down my seasoning and my meat. I'm just going to get a little head start while I'm making my roux. Because this stew right here would only usually take a lot longer than we have tonight. So I'm going to get a head start over here with everything else. What's up, Rocket, better known as Dale? So what we're going to do over here is I'm going to get a little onions going. And I'm going to put a little tasso in here. What's up, Dad? Doing good, Dad? So I'm going to put a little tasso in here. You see, I don't have a lot. All I want that tasso to do is just give me a little smoke flavor in here. That's all I'm looking for. Just a little flavor. And I'd rather use tasso because I can cut it up to the size I want. What's happening, Dino? My brother from the parish. So I'm going to get this cooking down on my skillet. And over here, I'm going to go ahead and get this roux started. Now, let me see if my oil's ready. Oh, yeah, my oil's ready. So we're going to start rock and rolling this stew. In fact, the oil's too ready. Let me bring that fire down a little bit. And we're going to make a nice, not dark brown roux, but we're going to get it, a nice shade of brown. Let's put it that way. And I'm going to be double dipping tonight, so I'll be going back and forth in these pots. So the thing about deer is really good. It's a good piece of meat. What my mama didn't eat wildlife, but she loved venison. So it was the only wildlife that she would actually eat. Now, here's the funny thing. She wouldn't eat boiled crawfish, but she'd eat boiled shrimp. She wouldn't eat, let's say, a rabbit, but she would eat deer. But she would, raw oysters, she would wear out some raw oysters. I never understood it, but that was just the way it was. Hello, Mildred. I want to do is get this roux thickness that I want. And a lot of times what I do, what do you say, Roland? Hey, Roland, we're cooking deer neck and turnip stew tonight. That's right, Dr. Patty's brown like you, brother. which has got to be the perfect brown, right? That was a good one. All right. So when we do the Cajun cooking experience, everybody that comes in says, "Oh yeah, I make a roux." Well, if you're in the northern part of the United States, and for those who don't know, not from this area, northern part of the United States is anything north of I-10. If you're from that part of the United States, you don't make the roux as dark as us. So when we make it, they'll go, "Yeah, I make a roux, but not that dark." And they're amazed about how dark we make our roux, but we get that nutty flavor in our gravies. That's part of our Cajun culture. Okay, let's get that fire up a little bit. Load it a little bit too much. A lot of people, they don't like to make a roux. I love making roux. I don't mind doing it. To me, this is therapy. This is just relaxing. So it's what you make of it. Now to think about it, if you make a roux, like I took a shower before I did this show, I'm gonna smell roux tonight, go to bed, and tomorrow morning when you walk in here, in my place, you're still gonna smell that roux. It doesn't leave very easy. Okay, I'm gonna keep these onions going. Let's see. Oh, Joy. Oh, hell yes, I'm coming. Got enough French bread? Oh, hell yeah. Joy, we always have enough French bread. Okay. Now, I'm getting away. I can't shake this a little bit anymore. I can't dip my little spoon down here. Got the pull bar ready for the gravy. Got the rice to put the stew on. Hell yeah. And just trying to get the thickness in this. Oh, you say, Jill, just trying to work on my thickness now. One of the things I teach, hey, Laurie, is this is how I teach people about a roux. You see, when we're pulling it together, all that comes together really quick. The important part is going to be is to watch this come together very slowly. That's when you know you're nailing it. All right. Just keep this rolling like this. And every now and then I'll bring my spoon over and stir my onions. Time to give them onions a little loving. Well, yeah, Crete. How important is the amount of oil to flour in the roux? So, Crete, that's a good question. So everybody wants a formula of how much oil, how much flour. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just go by looks, but if you want a formula, you can go 1-to-1. If you want, you can go 1-to-1, 1 oil, 1 flour. I like to go about 1.5 flour to 1 oil. Let's see, Lucy. We can't see you when you are behind the pot on your right. It looks like you are stepping out of the picture. The picture is too narrow. Oh, I don't know why it's doing that. Man, there's too much technology over here. What you say, Roy? I'm not sure why it's kicking off like that, Lucy. Because I'm looking at my screen right here and I see it all. Harvey, you smelling this in my railroad, brother? Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, Roland say he's good and good. Hey, Janice. Lucy, maybe because you're on your phone, I'm not sure. Okay, so this little thing it's starting to slow down a little bit. Let me see if I can do it this way, but it's still coming together pretty quick. Yeah, we cooking a turnip and deer neck stew tonight. And make sure to tell Evelyn hello for me. Okay, now keep the onions cooking down. Just give them a little head start in this pot. And kind of like build me a little gravy while I'm going, okay? Get that little loving in that pot. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Little bit more flour. So, everybody, people, what's up, Kevin? People do look for a formula or a recipe for a roux, the flour with the oil ratio. And I say just learn. Now, I'm going to show tonight. But if you're going to do it 1-to-1, first thing my mama taught me, you don't know how to make a roux? 1 oil, 1 flour. You can't go wrong. I usually go a little bit more flour. Laurel, I like the 1 to 1.5 flour ratio. All right, that's basically what I use, Laurel. And hello, Virginia. Lucy, it may be just YouTube. You're right. It may just be on YouTube. And it may be something in the settings that I missed. I see Joy. Okay, Joy's on Facebook. His phone is clear. So we know it's something with YouTube, Lucy. And I like a thick roux. Makes me cringe when I see people cook the internet and got more oil than flour. That's because they don't know what the hell they're doing, Joy. Okay, you see it starting to come together. And let me see. I got to manually do this again. Okay, let me see where I'm at on this switcher. Okay, watch when I pull it. See how it's coming together slow like this? This is how I determine my thickness, right here. It just slowly come together. I just about got it right now. I'm going to go a little bit thicker, but not much. Okay. I got to click my hand tonight. And Lucy, I'm going to try something. Tell me if that works. Well, I can say Facebook is much better. Oh, Ron, Reserve checking in. Okay. Get this going over here. Woo-hoo. Man, these onions not smelling good and looking good. Joanna, what's happening from Arkansas, our neighboring state? Okay. And just keep this roux rolling. Man, a little bit more flour. And I just keep adding a little bit of flour like this, I get it. Oh, rolling. Sauce pecan dough, brother. I'm close, though. I'm making a turnip deer next too. So how long have deer been on this earth? They figure about 20 million years in Eurasia. And what happened was they migrated to North America via the what was called the Bering Land Bridge. So years ago, thousands and thousands of years ago, they made it over to North America. What do you say, Jason? I always got it going on, brother. Thank you, man. Okay, now we got this little roux rolling right along. And something I want to do now over here, since the onions are cooking down, I'm going to bring in something I didn't do last time I made this. Bring in a little loose deer meat. So it's like deer sausage. This is deer and pork together. And because I always like a little loose meat in my stews, especially red beans, any kind of stew. I love to put a little loose meat in there. Okay, we got that roux. It's getting to the blonde roux stage right now. So still got a little ways to go. Get this meat chopped up. And this is just some deer sausage I had made. Now this meat is seasoned. So that seasoning is going to transfer to the stew after a while. So I've got to be careful how I season everything. And also that tasso is seasoned. And one thing I tell people, especially if you like canned goods, you have to be careful. Canned goods have a lot of salt in it. you can over season your food really easy with canned goods. Or if you're putting seasoned meat in it, you have to really be careful. Okay. I'm just working this in. All it's doing is just giving me a little head start. Giving me a little head start for when I put it in the stew. And a lot of times I do this in my gumbo. If I'm making a gumbo, I'll fry all my meat on the side. It does give it a better taste. If you want a little, kick it up a couple notches whenever you're cooking, fry it on the side. Just saute it on the side a little bit. It's going to give it a better taste. It's going to get more depth. So the deer eventually made it to North America, then eventually down to South America. And then after over years of diversification, what happened is we finally got into one of the species that we know today in the United States, the white-tailed deer. Oh man, this roux is coming along good. It's rolling. Now, one thing about it, I always gotta play on my fire. Always make sure this thing is right. And one thing about when you're making a roux, you can't leave. Don't leave it. You gotta go to the bathroom, you better have a catheter because you're not getting there, you can't walk away from it. And if you think you could turn this pot off and walk away, when you come back, you got to burn roux. This black iron pot will burn it. Just because you walk away doesn't stop it from cooking. Hey, Michelle, all the way from Australia. Love you, baby. Ricky, are you marinating the meats prior to? No, Ricky, I didn't marinate anything. You can if you want. Years ago, I would have marinated this deer because this is a deer neck. I don't know where it came from, maybe out the swamp, but it would have a strong taste. The deer today, because of the way they're being fed, they're pretty mild. Even out the deer out the swamp, you still have a pretty mild deer. I remember when I first started hunting around here in the mid-70s, that deer was strong. You had to soak it, you had to marinate it, or else you couldn't eat it. Am I gonna put mushrooms in it? Oh, hell yeah, Daz. Oh, Sammy. Ricky, let's see. Nope, okay. Think I got everybody. Dr. Baptiste, in your experience, which is better to make? Better make a roux with butter or oil. Dr. Baptiste, that's going to depend what you're doing. So if you're going to make a light roux and you want a good tasty light roux, you want that rich roux, a good buttery roux is going to be a good thing. Etouffees, like you want to make it a little sauce or a little gravy, I would use butter. I would definitely put I'd put a little butter. That'd be more like the French style. If I'm going to make it more of the Cajun style stuff, like this kind of stuff that we're cooking, I'm going to use lard or some kind of oil I can get a high temp in because I want to get me a dark roux to get that nutty flavor. What's up, Pete? And I want to let y'all know our Turnip tonight are sponsored by Pete Moss and his brother, and we appreciate that. And of course, and Pete, I want to let you know Timmy bought me some too. So Timmy Becknell bought me a few. So we got the neighborhood, we got the neighborhood turnips coming out here. And I've been picking on turnips all day long. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And what I did just now, I took an old onion out of this thing that I transferred over. Oh yeah, this roux's coming out good. Coming out, getting a really good flavor, a good strong blonde roux right now. Now back to Dr. Baptiste, if you want to make something and you want a lighter roux, you can use this oil, if you want lard or avocado oil, if you want a little healthier oil, and make you a blonde roux, that would work just fine. But if I'm gonna make a light roux and I'm cooking something like a gravy or a sauce, I definitely want butter. It's going to give you a better taste in gravy or sauce. Okay. Oh, Vince, what's happening? Happy Mardi Gras, brother. I got the colors flying today. What it did is stop that rouse and they had these things hanging. I said, oh, what the hell? I need one for the show this week. I'll hang it in the closet and I'll have it every year now. I watched someone cook a neck roast on the internet, but they didn't cut the glands out. What the hell? Put it in the oven. Oh, Lord. So every animal has glands. Deer neck, and especially in the neck, deer's going to have it back and hind. And you have to know how to get it out of there. And, you know, that gland could mess up your whole meal. And this is why a coon, I love coon gumbos, but I won't clean it. I don't know how to clean it. A coon has a lot of glands in it. So if I don't have anybody to clean it for me or get the glands out, I'm not eating it. So yeah, Joey, that's crazy. But again, I guarantee if they did that, they're not from here. The deer in Minnesota are grain-fed, and it tastes totally different. So, Dad, you're right. I get people bring me deer, like they'll go hunting out of state. They'll bring me deer to make deer sausage. Beautiful meat, beautiful. Layer of fat about this thick, like cold up there. Them deer not only eating on corn and soybeans and whatever's in the field, but also it's a lot colder, so they need that thickness. That's right. That's exactly right, Joy. And Joy said he can clean that coon. I never did learn. Because usually what'll happen, somebody will bring me the coon to smoke, and then they'll give me one. That's all I need, one a year. I'm good. Because the only thing I'm going to do with the coon is smoke it and make a gumbo. That's it. Oh, thank you, Jason. Jason, you can help me with that coon. In fact, if I ever get one, Jason, I want you to show me because I definitely want to learn how to do it. All right, now we're getting into dog. We're starting to get into light brown. We're getting out of the blonde roux phase right now. We right at the end of the blonde roux. So this is about as far as you can go when you're cooking with butter. So that's another thing, Dr. Baptiste. You're doing with butter, you can't get real dark. So your roux, you're limited to about this dark. If you want that heavy, nutty flavor that we do in our Cajun cooking, you're gonna have to use the oil. But you don't always have to have that nutty flavor. But if I'm doing a gumbo or something, or a stew, I want that nutty flavor, so I'll be using the oil. All right. I don't know about y'all. All these damn words getting me thirsty. And before the show, I was sipping on the beer already. Damn, I was thirsty. Woo, man. There's nothing better than the good old roux smell in here. Damn. Old black farmers were where I hunted, gave me $15 a coon and $20 to clean. And I didn't know, but one time somebody at the shell station actually sold coon. So I didn't know you could sell that because I never heard of anybody that could sell wild game. Now maybe they were doing it illegal, I don't know, but they were selling them $20 a coon. Bacon grease for the roux. That's your Lord, Brian. Same thing. And Anthony, a coon has 8 glands. Okay. I thought it was more than that, but okay. Rocky, I know it ain't you. That's a Modella dog. That's not no Miller. Okay. I like them beers dark. Did they have the foot connected? Okay, in case anybody doesn't know what that means, if you have a coon and you're traveling with it in its skin, you have to leave the feet on. Because they want to make sure that you're not out there selling dog, really. And this is true. Because I had somebody that worked for me and they had a magazine. I said, oh, y'all eat coon? They said, no, that's dog. And I said, oh my God. So you have to have the feet on it. When people bring it for me to smoke, if the feet aren't on it, I'm not smoking it for them. I tell them, get it off my property. They can't bring it in. I made a sauce pecan many times with it, and people didn't know the difference of the young. That's right. If they're young coon, you don't know the difference. Oh man, they're over here. We got a good little gravy building with this deer meat, with this deer sausage. It's got a real, I don't know if I can see down at the bottom of that pot. Oh. It also helps with the smoking, that's right. All right. We're coming along good with our roux. I'm not pushing it. I'm taking my time with this roux. One thing about a black iron pot, so I can push it. I can push this thing hard and finish in no time. But I find when you rush a roux, to me, it's not the same. It doesn't taste as good. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's my imagination. So I like to take my time. Now, one of the ways they know how long people have been eating deer is in the cave. There's paintings in the cave that have deer drawings. And not only they had the drawing of the deer, but it also show what they use the deer for. Not only the meat, you had the hides. They can make clothing. They can make rugs. They can make covering for their tents. They also made tools, and they also can make tools from the antlers and also weapons from the antlers. And one of the things they use down here, this big shin bone back here, they could also make weapons with that also. And one of the things that was very good to use, and the natives were very good at using it, was the sinew, which is like the tendons that run into the deer meat. That sinew, they can make the string for their bow. They can make string to tie their tents together. Sew with that string. Sewing string, that was their first thread, I guess. So the natives were very, very talented in what they did. Mama Rose is watching. Glad you got on tonight. That's right, Joy. Old school, brother. Do you like to start with cold grease or hot grease? Good question. Some people do start their roux with cold grease. I like hot grease. I like mine when it hits, it's got a little bubble into it. That's what I want. Melissa, what's happening? From the Bay Area. But everybody's got a preference, so it's what works for you. That's what works. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw my mushrooms in. Somebody was asking about those mushrooms. Okay. I might as well throw my celery in here too. Now, you see, I still have a container of onions left. That's going to be to put in this roux, so I can stop that cooking process when I put those onions in. That's why I save half of the onions for later. What's up, Ronald? Melissa, I like that. From the Bay, 70301. Grandpa taught me how to trap. I used to go behind Bungie and trap them. They had a lot of trapping going on in St. Charles Parish, bro. Remember when they was trapping them Nutra, getting like $25 a hide? Oh, Wilbur. Okay, now we're getting a good color in our roux. Let's go down and peek in that pot. See, we got that good dark color. Now, it actually looks darker on the screen than it is over here. Hey, Ronald, that spoon should look familiar. I had a good friend buy this for me. Lives out of state somewhere. You might know him. Last name is Luke. First name is Ronald. Okay, I just about got my roux where I want it. Now I'm gonna stir this pot over here. And now, you see what I had? When I put the meat in, it was throwing a lot of water. So it built a nice little gravy in here. But now the water's just about cooked out of this pot. Okay, I gotta watch this roux. This is the point where you can definitely burn that sucker. No, but listen, believe me, we didn't think you were from California. And in case anybody wants to know what the Bay Area is, that would be Cat Bay. We would go to St. Rose and skin them Nutra after school. Yep. Man, them Nutra were paying good money back then. So when they really became a nuisance, my son-in-law actually helped. One of the ways he made us spending money in college, you could shoot them, just bring the tail in, $5 a tail. They didn't want to hide anything. That became that was worth nothing after. Thank you, Julia. I fly to California in the morning for work. The traveling man. All right, we just about got this roux done. Now, one of the things in the 17th and 18th century, deer skin, deer hides became a hot commodity. And this was a shame what happened. And this is one of the reasons why we have so many regulations today. It was like a free-for-all. They were killing deer. They were just slaughtering them. At that time, when the Native Americans had this land, okay, they had up to 30 million deer in this land. We knocked that population down when the Europeans came in, down to 300,000. Almost were extinct. And they were killing them, number one, for the hide. There was a huge market for the hide. Okay, now I'm going to put my onions in. Got my nice brown gravy in. Now we're bringing our onions in. Start slowing this cooking process down. Dad, what can you tell us about the healing stone from a deer? I'm trying to educate a Minnesota friend. Give me a second, Des. I'm going to come back, which is known as the mad stone of Asher. I'm going to come back to that. So that we almost lost our whole whitetail habitat, the late 1700s all the way to the late 1800s. And this population was almost gone. Then we have the Lacey Act of 1900. And that law was passed. It was a federal law passed by John Lacey. And what it did is it regulated, this is where you start getting your hunting season for deer, started regulating what can and cannot come, what can come in the country, started regulating plants and animals that can come in this country, especially invasive ones. And another thing that helped too over the years is that hunting camps became very important to the conservation of the deer population. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But without that, we were wiping out the herd. And today, we've almost got that 30 million deer population back throughout the United States. But it was very close to being gone. And I've seen pictures with deer just laid out, hundreds of them, kill them, and just for the hide. And then later on, when you have refrigeration hit, you have refrigerated boxcars, they can load the meat in, and the boxcars send them across to the East Coast where people can have venison. Let's see. So what Des is talking about is the mad stone of Asher. And it was a healing stone it's in my mother-in-law's family, still in the family. And it was from a native that came in, and because he appreciated that this family actually healed him, helped him heal. When one of the ladies was sick, she got bitten by a snake, he brought this stone and I'm telling a very brief story now, put the stone on the snake bite, and it doesn't leave. It won't move until the poison's sucked out. And when the poison's gone, the stone falls off. This is still being used today. It's in a couple pieces. It's been analyzed by multiple colleges and labs. They have no idea what it is. They think maybe it was the kidney of a deer, but they're not really sure. But that is still being used today. And that's not hearsay, that's a fact. And that's a very brief story of it. Nutrients, Brown. Okay, Crete. Yes. So Crete's got down there that Nutria are good to eat. It's the cleanest animal you're ever gonna have. Years ago, I made some Nutria andouille over here. It was on a show called Harry Bikers. Man, you talk about some good andouille. If somebody brings me Nutria meat right now, you get it to me, I'll make something with it on this show. It looks like when you skin it and it's just the meat, it looks like a wild rabbit. Very clean. Nutria's a vegetarian. The reason people won't eat it, because it's got those orange buck teeth. And they got the name Nutri-Rat. That's it. Turned everybody off. And like you said, Crete not far from rabbit. They look like a rabbit. They're very, very good piece of meat. Okay. Now I'm bringing this in. Oh yeah, this is looking good over here. Cooking these onions is really important. Oh, turkey neck. Thank you, brother. You get that Nutria. We're going to cook it here one night. Me and you are going to decide what it's going to be, what we're going to cook. So it's important that you cook these onions down in here because you want to release those sugars out of those onions. It's going to give you a better flavor gravy. If you just dump them in, you just go ahead and put your water in and start boiling your water, you're going to miss out on a lot of flavor. So let them onions cook in there a little while. Give it a couple minutes. Don't rush. Okay, here's my deer meat. And that's the deer neck. Turkey neck, you the man. Without the hunting camp, some man wouldn't have freedom. Well, but you got that right. I like the way you say that. Okay. I'm gonna bring these bell peppers over here. So I'm just cooking everything down on one side until I get this stew going. Now, if you want, you can wait. You don't have to do this on the side. You can, once you get your water boiling, you can put it in right now. Once you get your water boiling, just start bringing everything in. Takes a little longer to cook, but I think this is going to be better because I'm bringing out a lot of flavor in this meat as I'm cooking it on the side. Okay, now my stock. Remember, I boiled this deer neck all day. Talk about a hell of a beef stock right here. This is beef stock to the max. Okay. Let me kick that fire up as high as I can get it. We got to get a barrel going. Now, with the roux, you remember, you want this water to boil about 15 minutes. You got to get the enzymes and starches out of this water. If you don't, you're going to get that gritty sand taste. It's going to taste like you have sand. Okay. Oh, hell yeah. Man, I can make a sandwich with this over here. Oh, Hollywood. I'm going to get this boiling because I want to bring some more water. I want to bring some more stock in. Now, one thing we're talking about the hunting camps. And I'm glad, thanks for reminding me there, Wilford, because the hunting camps, when I first came over here and I started deer hunting, I rabbit hunted in St. Charles Parish. Came here, everything was big deer hunting. So we were deer hunting. They were deer hunting almost 24 hours a day. I mean, it was people, we were hunting during the day legally. At night, you had people bull eyeing. We didn't have any deer. If we went on a hunt and saw a deer, that was a miracle. We were running dogs just like they do today. Today, some days they'll see more deer in one day than I saw it all year in the time I was hunting. And it's because we had so many people outlawing it. And once the deer camp started getting where they were starting to practice good conservation and saying, hey, we want to not only feed these deer, we want to get bigger racks. We want to get bigger deer. We want a healthier herd. Once you started doing that, and this is all over the United States, these hunting camps help regulate the deer population. Let me tell you something about deer population. If you don't help regulate it, and we're getting something good out of it, we get good nutritious meal. But if you don't help regulate it, Mother Nature will take care of itself. And deer will get something called blue tongue. When they get that, a lot of the older deer in the herd, they're going to die. They can't survive. And they can wipe out your herd. So the deer camps, because they're well managed these days, people are taking pride in wanting to get those bigger racks, bigger deer, healthier herds. You're getting a rebound of the white-tailed deer right now. Okay. I'm not a Turner guy. You can put potatoes in this place. Around got a few potatoes right here too. I did this show in 2022. I went back and looked. And Ronald, believe it or not, you said, can you put potatoes in it? And I said yes. And so when I saw that, I said, I'm putting potatoes for Ronald tonight. I was hoping you was watching. Okay, I got to get my gravy going now. And one thing about a stew, if let's say you put too much water and it comes out a little thin, guess what? Keep it boiling. It's going to thin out. It's going to reduce. And it actually is good to start off a little bit. It's a little bit watery. So as it reduces, you're just adding flavor. The flavor is just getting better and better the longer this thing cooks. Hunting camps made young hunter good cooks if you wanted to learn. Jason, you got that right. Because every camp, this would make a lot of the wives mad because it always tasted better at the camp. You could be the same recipe, same every day at home, but it always tasted better at the camp. It's just the way it was. And it's not so much about the cooking as the camaraderie at the camp is what it's about. Okay. Make sure my meat's not sticking. And usually the cooks in the camp were the guys that no longer can hunt. As they got older, somebody had to do the cooking. And everybody loved to cook. He was the man. All right. Now, something I'm going to add to it. And we have a heavy hand. So, something I'm going to add to it. This is optional. I'm going to add a little tomato sauce tonight. The reason for it, in case your deer is a little strong, think of a sauce piquant. Why would they add the tomato sauce? It would help. They had the acid. That acid would help kill some of that wild flavor, that strong flavor. So I'm putting that in here. Plus, I don't mind. I don't mind a little tomato, a little light tomato flavor in my gravy. I'm also going to throw a little Rotel in. Now, if you want to put a little bit more, that's fine. That is not a problem. If you don't want to put it, that is not a problem neither. Anthony, that's why they put a slot for the redfish. Yep. Okay. Just trying to get this water back to boiling. Okay. While we're doing that, hell, we just soon take a sip. I just keep working on this gravy over here. Now, something about the turnip. Oh, the beer is Modella, the dark Modella. It's got to be good. I'm gonna give some of that love into that stew. Oh, Jason, as soon as we get this thing boiling and start getting some flavor in here, I start bringing this meat in. Oh, hell yeah. Green, a little white wine. Man, last time I drank wine in this show, I drank the whole damn bottle, didn't realize that I couldn't drive home that night. I had to sleep here. No more wine. Oh, Sharon, ready for the shovel. Yeah, you're right, man. As soon as this gets boiling, I'm going to bring this pot over. And it's just about there. We're going to take a look in that pot. Nice, beautiful color. Pretty. Just awesome. And if you wanted to make it a little darker, wouldn't be a problem. Donna, low and slow, the essence of River Road culture and cuisine. There you go, brother. Happy Jack said, #1 beer in America. Amen, brother. You know, you can drink a light beer and drink beer on training wheels. You can take them training wheels off and move into the real beer land. And once you start drinking dog beer, you're not going back to the light beer. Okay, we're just trying to get this thing back to boiling. So what's so good about deer? Deer venison is more nutritious than beef. And I'm going to tell you why. It's not that it has more protein. It has between 20 and 26 grams of protein for 3 ounces. Beef is going to have just as much or a little bit more. But what deer doesn't have, it doesn't have all the saturated fat. So if you eat a good steak, you've got like high saturated fat in that piece of meat. Deer is very, very low in fat. And just like beef, it has no carbs. It's very rich in nutrients and micronutrients. And if you want some good, you want a food that's really good in B12, that's it right here. I made some andouille yesterday to bring to California. Tried to make some chicken andouille and it was dry. Rhonda, did you use dark chicken meat? If you use white, if you use the breast, it's going to be dry. It's going to be terrible. Okay. Now, you see I added a little bit more stock in it? We're getting a nice little brown gravy in here. I want a little gravy in here when I bring this over. Okay, now we're starting to get our little bubble going. Our little bloop bloop, like I said. We got to get this thing rolling. I thought my stock was actually hotter than what it was. Okay, This is cooked enough over here. Why is it starting to boil? I'm going to bring this in. Oh, hell yeah. Look at that, loving on the bottom of this pot. Put the stew on smothered potatoes. Oh, yes, indeed. That's something I got to do in the show soon too. Jason, some smothered potatoes. All breast meat, Ron. Mix it with thigh meat. You'll get a very good andouille, chicken andouille. Just think about it. Breast meat has no flavor. It's too dry. Okay. All right. Woo! Now we're rolling. The waiter at the hotel did not eat pork and asked to try it. But look, if he doesn't know what andouille is, he's going to love it. Just fake it till you make it. All right, add a little bit of shallot tops to it. Now we're going to get this thing boiling. Oh. Man, what do you say, Trey? Man, this thing is looking good. Now, it's still a little early. I want to taste my season. I want to see how my season is set in here. Because I'm going to start seasoning this now. See, it still has that root taste, still has that little gritty taste to it. It's got to ball out. But I can tell you I need some seasoning. This is the reason I'm tasting it. A little salt. A little red pepper. A little touch of black pepper. Oh, David, what's happening, brother? And, you know, sugarcane farmers need a little loving. Got to give them a little loving. Okay. And you got to watch this. Now we're bringing this back to a boil. You have to be careful. Don't let this thing just boil. That roux is still settling right now. And it'll settle to the bottom of this pot and it'll stick. And it'll actually burn right now. So people always wonder, like when they take my Cajun cooking experience class, and they'll go, why do I have to keep stirring? It's boiling. I said, well, you don't have to, but if you don't, you're gonna eat some stick. And it ain't gonna taste good neither. I found something better than chicken. Pheasant. Some pheasant. Pheasant go ahead. I bet you that is good for some andouille. You know anyone who has some buffalo fish ribs? I don't, Anthony. I sure don't. Okay. Let's bring a little hot sauce. Time to bring Crystal to the party now. All right. And you know, you can't just use one. You got to give out both of them a little loving. So a little Louisiana in there too. Now we got a little seasoning. You see, every time I start stirring, it gives that little extra bubble. That's where it's starting to stick a little bit. That's why you don't want to leave it too long. Now I'm going to bring my potatoes in. Buck or dough neck? David, I'm not sure. I had this thing in the freezer since last year, so I don't remember. And I was cleaning my freezer, and that's when I found it. I said, because I know my brother has another one for me to use later. Rolling smoke, barbecue, and cooking. What's happening? So I don't mind if these potatoes cook where they just get mushy, because what it's going to do, it's going to give not only a good flavor to the stew, it's going to help thicken the stew. Now, some people say they don't like turnips, but you know, it's something about putting them in a stew. It's a little different. Now, taste the turnip. It's got to have a little sweetness to it. If it's bitter, don't put it in the stew. You're going to mess it up. So if you can't eat it, but it has a good taste, then don't put it in your stew. Oh, man. All right. This Starting to look good. Ever tried false alarm hot sauce cups from Backlash? I haven't. Now we're starting to get some seasoning. I got to get some of that, Jason, so I can have it on the show, man. Got to advertise local. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah, it's coming along. This thing is getting righteous. And every time I go in this pot, it's starting to get that little stick down there. I'd heard that. I'd heard about it. I heard it's doing very successful with it. And where can I find it at, Jason? Because I definitely want to try some. I want to get it. I bet it tastes better the next day. Dr. Baptiste, you have nailed it on the head. Thank you, brother. It tastes better the next day. So this way you got to be careful with your seasoning too. Because if you over season this thing today, you're not going to be able to eat it tomorrow. So if you like it spicy, for tonight, make it a little bit spicy. You can add some. If you like it, if you got to be careful with the salt, because it thing's going to, it gets intense. In case anybody wants to know what I'm going to do with all this, pedette and turkey neck, we're going to eat this tomorrow night. So we got the guys come over on Thursday night, and this is going to be camp night tomorrow night. We're going to have some of this. Oh, hell yeah. I'll get another little taste. Ooh, I have a question about jambalaya. How do you know how much rice to put in? Mine always seems to be too meaty. All right, David, good question. So jambalaya, 1.5 pounds of rice. For every pound of rice, I put 1.5 pounds of meat. That's my formula. If you're going to go water to rice, 2 water, 1 rice. And I'll do one night on the show just so we can go over that. Roland, I put a little tasso in it. What's the dudes for the camp? Just come over and be happy. Oh man. Woo. This thing's starting to taste right now. I miss the true down home cooking. Man, nothing like it. Sherman. Hey, my friend, I'm saying, going to introduce co-workers in Alabama to the crawfish etouffee for Fat Tuesday. Man, they're going to love it. They're going to love it. We're going to do something with crawfish and shrimp next week since it's Ash Wednesday. And I won't be able to put any smoked meat in it. That's going to be tough. Okay. Now we just got to let it cook a little bit. We get ready to bring these turnips in. Oh. Y'all, I think it's time for a little French bread taste. Throw me something, mister. Throw me something, mister. Woo-hoo. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, man. Look, don't try to follow my strikes. I've been getting y'all drunk out there. Oh, Lord. Now, here we go. I'm going to bring these turnips in. How much you want to bring in? As much as you feel like. What's up, Brian? Okay. As much as you feel. I don't know how many turnips I peeled today because I ate some in a salad. I've been picking on them all day, so I can't give you an accurate count. But it's what you're feeling. And if you think you could put the turnips in, even though if you don't like them, they're going to give a good flavor. You don't have to eat the turnips. You just dig around them. And the deer meat, I don't know. I'm going to go zoom in. The deer meat is actually, this is how I know I really, really did a good job with tenderizing this meat. It's starting to shred apart. Oh, this is what I like. Because deer meat can be very chewy if it's not cooked good, and it's a tough piece of meat, especially the neck. So I boiled it. I put this on this morning, and I put it on a low fire. I boiled this neck for like 5 hours. Oh, hell yeah. Why not put the turnips in early? I don't like them to get too mushy. Jason, you can if you want, like I did the potatoes. I don't mind the potatoes getting mushy, but I like my turnips not mushy, if that makes sense. But you can. If you like them in earlier, that's not a problem. Just remember, they're going to get mushy in this pot. Oh. A little bit more salt. Add a little bit more black pepper to it. Now, I always cook with black pepper in the show because I love black pepper. The whole time I had the restaurant, I couldn't cook with it because a lot of people, black pepper does irritate their intestines. Their whole gastro system will catch on fire. The reason being, it doesn't digest. And think about putting that black pepper in your radiator a long time ago to stop that leak. Black pepper was magic. Okay. So a few more minutes. Boy, George, what's happening, my brother? George, not only is it looking good, it's smelling good too. All right, put a little parsley in. If Melissa's watching, I did that just for her. All right. Yo, I can't quit tasting this. Man. Trying to get a little piece of deer meat in here. This is a little piece of tasso. Modella dog, George. The best beer in town. Unless you go to a microbrewery and they got some good beer in the microbrewery. What do you do with the stew when you finish? Get the family together and eat till you bust? Tomorrow night, we'll have a bunch of guys come over, and that's going to be the supper for tomorrow night. And a lot of time, put it in containers, put it in the freezer, spread it around the family, whatever. There you go, Julie. Jason, good question. Julia said it ain't no stew unless you put the parsley. And also, Jason's asking, what about the bay leaves? When I make my stock, I put the bay leaves when I make my stock so that I can take them out. I can see them. I used to come here and just put it. Then you had to, when you go to serve it, it wound up on somebody's plate. I just do it when I do my stock. I have this special little screen that I put in all my little cutoffs of onions and bell peppers and celery. All my little cutoffs, I'll put them in there. And a carrot, I'll put a carrot in there. And I'll put my bay leaves in there. Let that boil for about 15 minutes. So I'm making like a bouillon. And I take it out and I can throw it away. That way it's not in my stew, but the flavor of the bay leaf is in the stock. Now, if you want to put bay leaf in here, absolutely. Bob, what about ball eggs? Man, if you want to put some ball eggs in here, absolutely. Knock your lights out. Now, I probably could have put another, because I had the small cans of tomato sauce. Probably could have put another one, but it's fine like it is. I'm starting to get a little stick right here, so I got to be careful. This is why at this point, you would put it in a low fire and just let it bloop. A little bit more hot sauce. Hell, they don't have much left in there. Just soon finish it. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, this is it. This is it. Now, while we wait for the turnips, I'm going to tell you about next week's show. Oh, man, next week is Lent. I made that do this in 2 weeks. Next week, since it's Ash Wednesday, I'll do some seafood. But there's going to be a show coming up that I'm going to call it the 3-in-1 meal. So you can make a gravy or sauce. Call it what you want, like a mushroom gravy. And then if you want to, you can take that mushroom gravy and you can turn it into a chicken stew. And then if you want to, you can take that chicken stew and turn it into a gumbo. And what it's doing, I'm cooking it for a small crowd. Let's say it's just 2 of y'all in the house, 3 of y'all in the house. You want to cook enough to have a meal tonight and maybe eat it again tomorrow night. That's it. Instead of having a big pot like this, like I said, what do you do? David said, what do you do with all this? Instead of having that, you cook a little portion size, cook a little small pot. And that's what I'm going to do in a couple of weeks, just to show you how you can take basically building that mushroom gravy, turn it into some kind of stew, and then turn it into some kind of gumbo. Meal for two. Twice. But they'll call it 3-in-1, 2x2. You must really be a great cook because you never admit that you miss. Happy Jack, that's right. Look, I'm going to tell you about it. If you haven't missed it, you haven't cooked it. I promise you. But I'll tell you, we do the Cajun cooking experience. We got a lot of people come over. They cook these meals. And I promise you, all of them, we nail it. Because it's the same process over and over. Might do a little tweak, a little different here and there, but it's the same process. My people is I can't seem to cook a small pot. Okay, so might start that way, but always gets big. Jason, 2 more weeks. You're going to have to tune in. Baron, what's happening, my brother? 2 more weeks. You're going to have to tune in because I'm going to show you how to cook that small pot. I never could neither. And the reason I did it because we were doing it with people coming in, the Cajun cooking experience, and I just started off making a little mushroom gravy. And last week I said, oh, here's a mushroom gravy. Here's a chicken stew. Then I thought, well, hell, I could turn that into a gumbo. Watch in a couple of weeks. You'll be able to, I'll teach you how to cook those small dishes. Oh, hell yeah, George is in effect. One more dip, and then we're going to go ahead and bring this baby over some rice. Got 2 deer aged in my cooler. I'll cut them up tomorrow and make sausage and break down the big muscle for roast. Always get the neck for using like you are. Trey, that's the way to do it, brother. These some good Lenten dishes. Watch next week. Keep on, Paul. We're going to have some good Lenten dishes. If you got something, a suggestion for Lent, bring it on. Okay, here we go. Oh, yes, indeed. Y'all, if that don't look good, let me bring that camera down in that pot. Man, if that doesn't look good, you don't know what the hell good is. Okay, here we go. Round of fish convions coming soon too. Got a big catfish in my freezer waiting for it. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, it passed the right steps. Oh, man. Oh, that. So what I'm gonna do. So what you do now, you cooking this at home, you bring that fire down and just let it blue. Just get a little blue going. That's it. Let's see. Shrimp bisque. Man, that sounds like a good one too, Ron. So get that look. And what right now you can go take your nap and do what you want. Just let it slow cook. What you got to be careful of, while this thing is blooping like this, it's gonna thicken up. So set your timer for about 10 minutes. Every now and then, every 10 minutes, come and give it a little stir, okay? And you won't any left over tomorrow night after all. You got that right, Juanita. Just like the highway 18 to 20. You got it, brother. So y'all, taking one last peek in that pot before we sign off tonight. There's our turnip and deer neck stew. Guarantee it. You can't go wrong. Happy Jack, how long do you let it blue? You know, at least 30 minutes right now. I will let it sit there and slow cook at least 30 minutes. And if it gets too thick, add some stock back in. Because what you want to do is it reduces, it'll thicken up, and that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. And you add some more stock, and what you want to do is just let it keep a couple, 3 times, let it reduce. So you can bring the stock back in. That's going to add to the flavor and add to the intensity of this. Trey, looking awesome as usual. Thank you, brother. So this is it. Tomorrow, what's good today is better tomorrow. We'll see y'all next week. I'll have some kind of seafood dish. I'm not sure what it is yet. It'll be a Lenten dish. And we're going to get fired up for Lent. Besides that, go have yourself a good Mardi Gras, whatever that means to you. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Love y'all. God bless y'all. And we'll see y'all next Wednesday.
I don't cry.